Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spring Global News at 12. Here are the top stories of the news. Inspector General of Police orders deployment of gunboat to riverine areas ahead of election. Gunmen have reportedly attacked the police outpost in Enugu. On the foreign scene, Peru's new president Bolate calls for calm amid early election call. My name is Sunday. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba Alkali, has ordered the deployment of 5 gunboats to different parts of the country. The IGP gave the order while commissioning the boats in Lagos on Friday alongside the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Awal Zubaru Gambo. Mr. Baba said the boats were part of efforts to the police in ensuring a hitch-free election in 2023, adding that the gunboats will be deployed to riverine areas in the southwestern part of Nigeria. The IGP said the new gunboats will also be used for the distribution of electoral materials and movement of personnel for the forthcoming election. The Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Awal Zubaru Gambo, who joined the IGP for the program, commended the police for their efforts at ensuring security of lives and property in Nigeria. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has directed officers of the Nigerian Army across the country to deal with criminals who might want to disrupt the 2023 general election. General Farouk Yahaya gave the directive at the closing ceremony of the 2022 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference in Sokoto yesterday, called on officers to sustain the tempo of operations in their command. It disclosed that the conference was meant to assess the Army's readiness to support the civil authority in the conduct of next year's elections. He stated that the Nigerian Army formation and units have developed robust contingency plans to assist the civil authority in the provision of enabling environment for the election. The Federal High Court sitting in Ibadan has dismissed the case challenging the candidacy of Tolulope Akande Shadipe as the All Progressive Congress candidate for Oluyole Federal Constituency, Oyo State. The court held that Akande Shadipe, who represents the constituency, remains the rightful candidate of the APC in the forthcoming election. A suit filed by Honorable Olubemi Sumbo challenged the primaries that produced Tolulope Akande Shadipe as the winner. The Supreme Court has affirmed Governor Dave Umahi as the All Progressive Congress APC senatorial candidate for Ebonyi South District. In a ruling today, 5-man panel of the Apex Court, led by Justice M.O. Kekeriekun, dismissed an appeal filed by Princess Anne Agum Eze against the ticket of the governor. Recall that Mrs. Agum Eze emerged second in the senatorial primary of the APC that was won by Austin Umahi, Governor Umahi's younger brother, on May 28, 2022. Following the withdrawal of Austin Umahi from the senatorial race, the court ordered a fresh primary election, which was eventually won by Governor Umahi. Still in Ebonyi State, a federal high court sitting in Abakaliki has declared Dr. Ifeanyi Odi as the authentic People's Democratic Party PDP governorship candidate for the 2023 general election. The court gave the ruling in a suit filed by Tochukwu Okore against the PDP and Independent National Electoral Commission. Mr. Okore had argued the court to cancel the PDP primary in the state on May 28 and 29 as it was conducted in disobedience of the order of the Court of Appeal, saying the execution of the judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, which had declared Joseph Sila Onu as the Ebonyi State chairman of the party. However, in his ruling, Justice Fatum Rima dismissed the matter and lambasted Mr. Okore for abusing court processes by instituting similar matters across various jurisdictions of the Federal High Court in the country. The Ogun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has flagged off its campaign for the 2023 general election in Abeokuta, the state capital. The PDP governorship candidate Ladi Adebutu at the event unveiled the 7-point agenda of his manifesto, which includes security, local government autonomy, rural development, healthcare, education, agricultural development, and youth development as his top priorities if voted into power in 2023. Present at the event were the Heathrow aggrieved faction of the party led by Samson Bangbushe and Segun Seriki, who brokered peace with Adebutu and decided to support him. Adebutu expressed gladness that God had vindicated the PDP by giving him and other candidates victory in court. It will be recalled that an appeal court in Ibadan had last week reinstated Adebutu as the governorship candidate of the party and 39 others as the PDP candidate in Ogun State. The Labour Party has suspended the executive of the Ogun State chapter of the party over what it described as anti-party activities. National Secretary of the party, Umar Farouk Ibrahim, disclosed this during a press briefing today. He disclosed that the party's National Working Committee, which took the decision today, also sacked the acting National Publicity Secretary Abayomi Arabambi. He further revealed that a caretaker committee will soon be announced to take over the affairs of the party in the state. It will be recalled that the Ogun State chapter of the party had announced the sacking of Dr. Doyin Okupe, who is the Director General of the party's Presidential Campaign Council. Gunmen suspected to be enforcing 5-day sit-at-home have reportedly attacked and bombed a police patrol vehicle at New Market area of Enugu State. Although the details of the attack are still sketchy, a senior police officer confirmed the attack to our correspondent. He, however, noted no life was lost during the attack, adding that a manhunt on the gunmen had been launched. A short video clip on the incident making rounds showed a white patrol vehicle of police on fire. At least 3 persons have been confirmed dead following bandits' invasion of Amtawalam and Borimbe local government area of Gombe State. The Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Yahaya, speaking during an assessment visit to the scene of the incident today, decried the killings and destructions of food items. The governor described the assailants as bandits and cattle rustlers, stressing that action capable of causing chaos will not be tolerated by his government. According to Yahaya, the attack will be a spiral effect of acts of violence in Plateau and Bauchi State. He disclosed that he had ordered for the immediate establishment of a police outpost while harping on the importance of community participation in maintaining security. You're watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. We will be right back after this.
Would you like a TV station that breaks the barriers of your TV screen? A TV station that brings infotainment to your forefront, breaking the conceptual fourth wall. Giving you television that is personal to you and your everyday life. Indigenous broadcasting for every man, cutting across the shackles of age, class, and language. With the best of equipment in digitized broadcasting. At Western Spring Television, your television experience has never been this magical.
We bring you the best in news and programs, breaking news to you as it drops from where it drops.
Talk shows that keep you glued to your seats, sports programs not void of in-depth analysis, entertainment programs cutting across all ages, political analysis with all its accompanying controversies, social responsibility because we care. Western Nigeria gave us our first feel of television. Western Spring Television is taking us to the next level.
Welcome back, and you're still watching Spring Global at 12 from Western Spring Television. Into all the news, reactions have continued to trail the newly released cash withdrawal policy announced by the Central Bank of Nigeria as part of efforts to push its cash policy drive. The policy, which was contained in a memo signed by the bank's Director of Banking Supervision, Haruna Mustafa, and released to domestic money banks, has elicited criticism from the Senate business experts and some stakeholders. Manuel Joadugele has the rest of the story.
Effective January 9th, 2023, Nigerians will no longer be able to withdraw more than 100,000 naira a week over the counter. Neither will they be able to withdraw more than 20,000 naira a day from automated teller machines, ATMs, and point-of-sale POS terminals. For corporate bodies, the weekly withdrawal limit is 500,000 naira. These and other points form the newly released cash withdrawal limit policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and signed by Director of Banking Supervision, Haruna Mustafa. This policy has split Nigerians across boards right down the middle, as some persons, like an Osun-based worker in the financial sector, Olayinka Olorundare, agree with it.
Truthfully, what do we really need cash for when we have all various of transfer mediums? We have the USSD code, which ordinary people, without network, you can transfer money. And it's effective, it's working. We just need to give all these platforms time and pay, we be patient. Everything will work out very, very fine. I support the CBN policy on cash limit, 100K a week. We don't need to carry money around. We have money in our purse and we have it on our cards. So I support it wholeheartedly.
Similarly, a cleric, Pastor Henry Ojo, believes that the government knows best, and in due course, the policy will prove itself timely and useful.
If you are not in position of leadership, you may not know what they are passing through. So let us not worry ourselves concerning whatever decision government made. They did it for our benefits. You know, Naira is crumble every day. We are praying that Naira should rise. So they know the best to make the Naira to rise up, to be equal to dollar. So let us pray for them so that they will succeed in all their endeavor.
But this line of thought is not the same for a businesswoman, Caroline Abiona, who argues that the government and the CBN puts the cart before the horse by putting out a policy without creating an enabling environment.
That policy cannot work for now. The issue of withdrawing 20,000 in a day and 100,000 in a week, we can't make it. It's not going to be possible. What CBN needs to do, because we are not getting there in this country, they need to deploy more. They need to deploy more knowledge, the educative knowledge. Firstly, about how people are going to be handling technology. See, they need to improve on our technology. That's the first thing they need to do. We cannot expect people at the rural area where the technology has not gotten to their side to be using technology.
The position of Mrs. Abiona is not very different from that of a petty trader, Yewande Babatunde, who urged the government to rethink the policy before it comes into enforcement next year.
This policy is not good for us at all. It's not good for us at all. If we are going to buy markets, we used to carry like 500,000, 1 million. But how can we collect 100,000 in a week to do our business? Which means the business will not go again. We are begging the government to please, mercy for us, we women.
Although it appears that only businessmen and women have opinions on the new cash withdrawal limit policy, students and other professionals also have a position on the matter. A young adult who identified himself simply as Ayomide describes the policy as unrealistic and in dissonance with the socio-economic context of the average Nigerian's existence.
To me, I can say we're not cool with it, because you can't expect us to just have 100,000 naira for a week and to spend that. That's not enough. Even for daily activities, that's not even enough. So for the daily activities and expenses, it's not even enough on cash withdrawals. So to me, I'm not cool with that.
It's been just few days since the Central Bank of Nigeria released its new cash withdrawal limit policy.
This has divided Nigerians across all walks of life into two parts. While some agree in total with the CBN's policy, others believe that there are still some fundamentals to be taken care of before it can be implemented across the country. It is hoped that the central bank and the federal government will look into some of these concerns and ensure that they are resolved before attempting to enforce this policy. Emmanuel Ujadugele, Western Spring.
And in business news, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has signed the state's 2023 appropriation bill valued at 555.66 billion naira into law. The special assistant on media to the Rivers State Governor, Kelvin Ebiri, confirmed the signing to newsmen, adding that the governor signed the bill at the Executive Council chambers of the Government House in Port Harcourt. He also revealed that the governor also gave assent to the Rivers State Child's Right Bill 2022, which will protect all children in the state from all forms of abuse. The Nigerian public debt profile rose by over 1 trillion naira within 3 months from June 30 to September 30, 2022. The Nigeria Debt Management Office revealed this in a new release. According to the DMO, Nigeria's total debt stock as of September 30, 2022 stands at 44.06 trillion naira as against 42.84 trillion naira recorded on June 30. The DMO stated that the increase in the public debt stock was largely due to new borrowing by the federal government to finance the deficit in the 2022 Appropriation Act, as well as new borrowings by state governments. On the foreign scene, Peru's new president, Dina Boluarte, says former President Pedro Castillo surprised the whole country, including his ministers, when he tried to stage a coup. Boluarte disclosed this to newsmen in Lima, the capital, adding that if the situation warrants it, the government will consult with Congress on holding an early presidential vote. Boluarte further called for a truce with legislators who dismissed Castillo for permanent moral incapacity, a clause of the Constitution that experts says is so vague it allows the removal of a president for almost any reason. The United States says Russia and Iran's relationship has warmed to a fully fledged defense partnership. U.S. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said Russia is giving an unprecedented level of military support. He added that the U.S. has seen reports that the two countries are considering joint production of lethal drones. Australia has announced it is sanctioning 3 Iranians and 1 Iranian business for supplying Russia with drones to use against Ukraine. United States President Joe Biden will back a permanent spot for the African Union in the group of 20 major economies seeking to elevate the continent's role. In a statement, the White House confirmed the development, adding that the president will make the announcement during a 3-day U.S.-Africa summit. According to the statement, the president called for more African voices in international conversations that concerns the global economy, democracy and governance, climate change, health and security. The U.S.-Africa Summit opens on Tuesday in Washington, where the United States will commit to the continent after inroads by China, Russia. Moving over to the exciting world of sports, Lionel Messi's World Cup dream lives on after Argentina edged out the Netherlands on penalties after a hugely dramatic quarterfinal at Lusail Stadium. Messi looked to have inspired Argentina into a last-four meeting with Brazil's conquerors Croatia when he set up Noel Molina's opener 10 minutes before the break, and then added the second from the penalty spot in the 73rd minute after Denzel Dumfries fouled Marcos Acuna. Louis van Gaal, in his final game as Dutch coach, went for broke and it paid off as substitute Wout Weghorst led a sensational comeback by scoring twice, the second following an audacious free-kick routine 11 minutes into stoppage time. A game of many flashpoints, including 17 yellow cards plus a red for Dutch defender Denzel Dumfries at the end, went to penalties, during which Argentina keeper Emi Martinez emerged as the hero, saving from Virgil van Dijk and Steven Berghuis. England captain Harry Kane says his team have more belief than they did 4 years ago ahead of their World Cup quarter-final against reigning world champions France. The Tottenham striker stated this during his pre-game press conference, adding that the English team will give it all to win the game. The Three Lions will be hoping to reach a third straight major tournament semi-final after losing in the semi-final of the 2018 World Cup to Croatia and reaching the final of 2020 Euro.
Yeah, I feel like the belief has been building and building over the 4 or 5 years now, and we entered this tournament hoping to and believing that we can win it, and we've got to a stage now where we expect it to be, and now it's about trying to push on, and we face a really tough game tomorrow. But
before we end the news, here is a recap of our top stories. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba Al-Khali, has ordered the deployment of 5 gunboats to different parts of the country. Gunmen suspected to be enforcing 5-day sit at home have reportedly attacked and burnt a police patrol vehicle in New Market area of Enugu State. Foreign saying Peru's new president, Dina Boluarte, says former President Pedro Castillo surprised the whole country, including his ministers, when he tried to stage a coup. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Western Spring Television. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel, Western Spring Television. That ends Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. I am Tunde Ido. It's a good afternoon to you.